Hello and welcome to my kitchen. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make peda in the microwave. Now, peda is an Indian sweet made with milk powder, nuts, and a few other ingredients. It's very simple and making it in the microwave is actually really easy. This recipe comes from my mother-in-law's friend, Susila Auntie, so thank you so much for sharing your recipe. I am going to add a twist to this recipe and make it more deluxe. So you can have the plain peda or you can make it deluxe with this version. So let's get cooking. Now to get started with this recipe, you're going to need 30 grams of almonds, which are chopped up very finely. That's equal to about 1/3 cup of finely chopped almonds. So just put them in your chopper and chop away. Once you've ground up the nuts, take them out into a bowl and weigh them to make sure you end up with 30 grams. You can see how finely I've ground up the almonds. Then in a large bowl, I'm going to add 1/3 cup of milk, and I'm using semi-skimmed milk. I'm also going to add 1/3 cup of granulated sugar weighing about 70 grams and 3 tablespoons of butter, and I'm using salted butter. Now, because we're going to cook this in the microwave on high 1 minute at a time, you want to make sure that your bowl is large and deep, because once it starts bubbling, there's a danger of it overflowing in the microwave and you don't want that. So make sure your bowl is really nice and big. My microwave is 900 watts, so I'm going to start it to cook for 1 minute on high. Now this amount of mixture I'm going to microwave on high for about 5 to 6 minutes. But if you increase the proportions, so if you triple the proportions that I've used in the measurements, you're going to need to increase the time that it cooks. So maybe about 10 minutes on high would work. But cook it 1 to 2 minutes at a time so that you make sure that you get the right consistency. After 1 minute of cooking, it looks like this, and I'm going to give it a stir before I put it back into the microwave for another minute on high. Now this mixture has been cooking in the microwave for 5 minutes total, and I cooked it 1 minute at a time, and you can see how it's thickened up a little bit. So now I'm going to add 1 cup of milk powder and the almonds that we ground up and mix that together until it's a really nice thick consistency. So you can see how the peda mix has come together really nicely. Once it's cooled down a little bit, I'm going to make them into the peda shape. Now my mixture has cooled to the touch, so I'm going to take a scoop, and I'm using my 1-inch scoop of the peda mix, and I'm making a small hole in there, and I'm stuffing it with some Gulkand. And Gulkand is basically rose petals in a syrup. And you just want a tiny bit of that in there because it is very sweet. And then I'm just going to close it. Now if the mixture seems a bit dry, you can always add a little bit of milk in there and then just cook it again. It's okay to cook it for a minute or two after you've added the milk powder and the almonds. And I may need to do that because I'm starting to see cracks here. I'm just going to put a little bit of rose petals in the middle and then just push this down on there. And there you go. So you can see my mixture has become a little bit dry. So I'm just going to add a little bit of milk in here and mix it up, and then I'm just going to pop it in the microwave for about 30 seconds to a minute. I'm going to check it after 30 seconds. So this I only cooked up for 30 seconds, and let's see. You just want it to be pliable, really, is what you're looking for, and not dry. So this I think is going to be fine. Roll it into a ball with a little hole in the middle here. a little bit of the rose mix in there, and then fold it over just to cover up that hole. Gently make them into your shape. Now this is still quite warm. And then I've got my mold here. Putting some rose petals there. And then I'm just going to push it down gently so that the design imprints. And there you go. Now one more thing to make sure of is that your Gulkand, your rose petal syrup, is not crystallized, because that will ruin the pendas. So if you have any crystallized bits, just take it off and throw it away. So from this recipe, I've made 14 of the Gulkand or rose pendas, and they look absolutely beautiful, and I know they taste absolutely amazing because this is the third time that I'm making them, because it's so easy to make and they're so good. Now, if you don't want to make the stuffed pendas, then you can make them plain and they'll be just as delicious. To store them, just once they've cooled, put them in an airtight container. You can keep them in the refrigerator for longer lasting, but when you're going to eat them, just take them out and bring them to room temperature to enjoy them. And now I'm just gonna plate them, and then I'm gonna try one. And there you have it, microwave penda, another easy and delicious recipe from my kitchen. And this one, definitely try it, guys. I think you're gonna love it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to see me make something, let me know. Or if you have a recipe that you want to share and see me cook it, let me know. Contact me through my website, milhan.com. I hope to see you soon for some more cooking inspiration. Oh. I don't know what to say. It's so good. My whole mouth is dancing. The mouthfeel is really good of these penda, and the rose flavor in here, it's just got such a beautiful aroma. I'm supposed to be on a diet, guys. This is not helping me, but I love this stuff. Man, that is so good.